Hey, welcome back to the shop, friends. I'm excited to show you a new tool. Well, it's not a new tool at all. It's a really old tool, actually, but it's new to me. I actually found this tool on eBay, and it's the Stanley number 48. And I actually bought the tool maybe a year or so ago and haven't really had a use for it yet, but we're going to need it to build the treadle lathe. So let me bring you a little closer and give you a tour. So this is the Stanley number 48, and it's a tongue and groove plane. It is beautiful. This thing is in really great condition. I don't remember what I paid for it, but I think it was less than $100. And I have sharpened the cutters on it to be razor sharp. You can see that the plane has two cutters here, and it has a mobile fence that is held securely with a spring-loaded shifter, and the fence can be moved to two different positions. When you're changing the fence, you go from creating one single groove to creating a tongue. So the tongue would be the material of the piece of wood that's between the cutters, and then when you flip back, you would just be cutting a groove down the center of the board. This plane is designed for 3/4 inch material, and it's designed to create a tongue and groove joint. The plane has a beautiful rosewood hand knob, and the body of the plane appears to be cast iron and is quite heavy, actually. When I first got the plane about a year ago, I spent a lot of time sharpening the cutter irons, and they are razor sharp. And I was just playing with them a minute ago, and it's as sharp as it was the day that I sharpened it last year. So let me show you how it works. I've got two pieces of 3/4 inch stock. That we'll use to put a tongue on one side and a groove on the other, and then see how it fits together. So on this piece, we'll go ahead and actually, what we should do first is we should make sure that the edge is perfectly flat. So let's take our joiner, and let's make sure we have a flat surface. Okay, now that we have a perfectly flat edge square to the face of the board, now we can take our Stanley number 48 and create the tongue on the edge of the board. So check that out. Is that not awesome or what? So we got a beautiful groove, tongue down the edge of the board. And we are nice and square to the face of the stock. We can also check and make sure that we're square, that the edges of the tongue are square, which they're very, very close. Okay, we've got the tongue cut on the first piece of stock. Now we'll take the second piece and we'll create the groove in which the tongue will fit into. So the plane is set up currently to cut the tongue, so we just need to pull up on the spring shifter there and spin the fence around. And now we're set up to cut the groove down the middle instead of the tongue. Once you're down to your final depth, the plane frame will actually stop you. So I know now I'm not cutting any material as I go across the material or the board. So now I know I'm down to my final depth. So let's check and see how our fit is. Look at that fit. Now this was my first attempt. I did not cheat or anything. I showed you the entire process. And look at the joint on the edges. It's just beautiful. That joint is really snug even without any clamps or glue or anything. Another option you can use using this plane is if you like the beadboard look where you have a bevel going down you can take your block plane and run down the edge of the board and actually chamfer it a little bit, however much you prefer. And then you can do the same thing with the opposing piece. And then that'll create that really pretty beadboard look. I just thought it'd be fun to show you a little tour of this awesome tool, the Stanley number 48. We're going to be using this while we're building the treadle lathe, as we're going to be building a panel to make the treadle wheel out of. So this is a tool we'll be using to joint some boards together to make them really strong, to have a really strong wheel. The wheel will be 24 inches in diameter, so we're going to have to put several boards together to create that size. But what an awesome tool. I think this plane was made somewhere in the late 1800s up until around 1942 or so. I'm not sure which year this one is, but it's in awesome condition and it works amazing. So the only thing I noticed when I was playing with it is that if you're trying to cut through a knot, it's really difficult to cut a clean tongue and groove. But anyhow, just a short video today. I thought I'd introduce you to this tool. It's just fantastic, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're new to the channel, I hope you'll give a thumbs up and consider looking at some of the other videos. We're currently building a treadle lathe with only hand tools, which is certainly challenging and time consuming, but it is a lot of fun. I'm getting to play with some tools that I probably otherwise wouldn't use. So anyhow, I hope you'll take a look at my other videos and consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.